Welcome to the Marcus Mcintosh YouTube show. We are here at Smash Park. I want to thank him for letting us be here. I want to introduce my guest. To my left is Dell, the Saxman Jones. We have John Dickerson with Dogfish Graphics. And we have from the band High in the Sky, we have Dave Montgomery and Spencer Fenimore. First of all, gentlemen, thank you all for coming. And I'm going to start to my right with Spencer, and we're going to go around the table and we'll just start to chat. Tell us how you guys got started, how High in the Sky started.
So I had an original band that was on the verge of retiring, and before we were retiring, we started to play after parties because there used to be people's music downtown. Third floor, big room that you play your big show, and then they had a sidebar. So we'd go after we got done playing, we'd go to the sidebar and we'd play cover music, and that got like more popular than anything else we were doing. So after the original band retired, started to put together some folks to continue the cover thing. And we did probably 3 or 4 lineups until we got to this one now, but it turned into a fun way to make money.
Okay. Right, yeah. We did an internet radio show before there were podcasts, and it was kind of a comedy stupid thing. We started playing some covers on that, and it just kind of snowballed into High in the Sky. I wish we could go back and change the name of the band, but now it sticks,
I like it. It comes comes from the Kama Sutra.
Oh yeah, that does. Yeah.
John? Yes. I started my business after doing about 25 years in printing for other people. So the opportunity presented itself. I told myself when I was 40 I'd own my own business, but it was almost 50 before I was able to start my own business.
Dogfish Graphics. Talk about that name.
Dogfish Graphics. In marketing, you've got, people say you want to have something colorful, something obscure, and of course the dog is always, popular. So if you look at my delivery vehicle, it kind of looks like something from SpongeBob with all the bright colors, and the fish swimming around it all had dog heads. And so that's how it came about.
All right, Joe, the Saxman Jones, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Goodness.
How much time do we have?
Yeah, let's see. This is year 50 for me. I started as a pro in 68 right out of high school. And so I started with a band from Des Moines, and we decided to go on the road. So went down south, and I learned real quick when we had to learn to change regions. So we got picked up by Bob Marchand, who had out several records at that time. And then through that, I got picked up with James Brown, and then Tina Turner after that. Prince in the 80s, and then CC Riders in the 90s. So I came back from Asia in 2000 after living in Hong Kong for about 10 years. So we played like Bangkok, Beijing, Indonesia, let's see what else, Taiwan, Singapore.
So
I could keep
it all.
going. Yeah. We went to Europe, played in Spain and Germany and Switzerland.
You're a slacker.
Way to make our story boring. He's not doing any work at all. He's kind of relaxed. Wow.
So anyway, I came back to Des Moines, and I hooked up with Janie Hooper. She had a band that played at Mel's. They had a house band there. So they pretty much kind of got to stay next to us. I played for about 6 months, and I decided to put Vitamins together. That's a dance pop band. So with that band, we still traveled to South Carolina, and then Pittsburgh, Minneapolis, Denver, Vegas. I go to Switzerland in July to play the Mountain Jazz Festival. And next week we'll be
I'll be in Des Moines all year. I'm not going any place.
Yeah.
Dale, you've left to come back to the base here. Pie in the Sky base here. John, you're here. What keeps all of you right here in Central Island? Family.
The winter weather.
Especially this past one.
Yeah, we just love the snow. It'd be terrible to be down in Miami.
Family and friends, and the Des Moines scene is a good scene. There's a lot of good bands. Being local musicians, Dell's a legend. He's having musicians like this in town to be able to say that you play in the same clubs as them. It's great.
Yeah, and it's grown. From the days of, I remember back in high school going to $10 all you can drink at Club Bucare, and no one really even hung out downtown, and we've just watched the burgeoning of the downtown scene, and it's just grown, and we've kind of grown with it. So it's been fun to see arts be more accepted and more money put into it and they take it more seriously. Not just performing arts, but visual arts and everything. Social club, all of that.
And John, you're all about visual arts. What keeps you in this area? Could you have gone? Did you have the opportunity to go other places, or you just?
Well, everybody has that opportunity. I was in the military and I traveled all over, but the road always leads back to Iowa. I mean, it's a great state. Des Moines is a great town. Families here. The education is awesome. So, and I too enjoy the winter weather.
Don't we all? Spencer, I want to go back to something you mentioned, the art scene, how it's exploded here. When I moved here 20 years ago, downtown was a ghost town. There was no East Village. There was no Western Gateway Park. Talk about your surprise, or maybe not surprise, or just how you, or maybe you expected things to blow up the way they have here in Des Moines.
I didn't. I just remember, like, even terms like the Fleur Drive beautification project. You know, it just kind of all happened step by step, and like I was talking about the Club Peoples. I think that was the first, other than Vaudeville, which is a legendary club, but it's just really small. Peoples was kind of the first club to come downtown and bring music from the outside in. Because before that, we were playing House of Bricks way out up by Merle Hay, and there were just all these little scattered satellite. Way back in the day, and this is before my time. We used to have a bar called Runway. Do you remember that out of the airport? So they were playing all around, and then Peoples brought things downtown. And then that was in conjunction with the East Village building up. House of Bricks moved to the East Village. That was still before any of this. I mean, it's like you could go a month and then you go back down to the East Village and there's something new that you haven't seen. So that'll happen quick. I think when we started playing, I started playing music in 2003, and from 2003 to 2019, it's like you took that break and came back, you wouldn't even recognize the movie.
Yeah, night and day difference.
John, has it affected you at all? Because you're in the graphic arts, has this exploding art scene affected you in any way?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of events out there. They all have signage, and so I mean, as a participant of the event, you maybe don't notice it much, but there's a lot of signage for any musical event, a marathon. I mean, you name it. There's a lot of signage that needs to be produced.
Somebody's got to print that sign that says bathrooms that way.
Right. Lost and found.
VIP area.
Yeah.
Exactly. But you mentioned something that's keeping you busy right now, high school graduation, right?
Graduation, yeah. Everybody wants to have, a cutout of their graduate or a big banner to put across their garage. So it's a real busy time for me just for those things, to support and to congratulate the graduates.
David Spencer, you're playing here at Smash Park on Friday the 26th.
Yep.
You mentioned that, things money-wise didn't really take off for you guys until you started playing cover music. Mm-hmm. Was that a surprise?
Well, no, because but we used to play at a bar called Harry Mary's all the time, and everybody knows Gus that ever played at Harry Mary's, and Gus told us, because we used to complain about not making any money, he said, you want to make money, start a cover band. So we finally took his advice.
No one wants to hear your crap.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that original crap.
and
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Some of my mentors, I grew up in Indianola, and they had a music store down there, Ground Zero. So Mark, Tim, and Jim Tupper were always telling me about the music scene back in their day. Like, you always started out playing covers, and you worked a couple of your originals in. We started in that inverse order. We started with an original band and just started working covers in and realized that was the way to go. So, but I think at the same time, Slipknot set a precedent of all these motivated original bands saying, oh, we can make it with original music. So we just had a different paradigm. Right. And now it's back to the original paradigm, I think.
And as a cover band, we've written a couple of originals, and we've got like a little demo CD, but you can have one. I mean,
but we don't play them live.
But we don't play them live.
Nobody's like, play that original.
Yeah. Is there any disappointment there because if I'm correct, or tell me I'm wrong, you get into music because you want to share your words, share your music with other people.
Right. Yeah, and he still plays in another original band, and I have another original band. That's kind of our outlets, but they don't make any money. So
well, we found it to be both.
Really?
The covers help draw people, and then when we do the original, they always ask, hey, original. So I said, we just played one last set, and we played two last set. So we try to make them fit within today's norm versus, well, I've been a bit so long that I've learned how be as commercial as far as hitting your market, because if you put out stuff that only you like, that's who buys it, only you. So there's a growing period where you learn how to make it so the public likes it. You know, more than one person, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, that kind of stuff. So we do the CDs from stage, and we do it from the websites. You know, that's the way it is now. The old days, you had to go through majors to get any kind of distribution, to get any kind of airplay and that kind of stuff. Well, now through the internet, there's other ways you can do it now. You don't have to wait for the majors to do it, you know. So once you get your website up, and so then they can sell 24 hours a day. You're on stage performing, you pull people that like original hits as well as covers, and that's what we found to be successful doing what we do. Because we travel pretty much anywhere in the world, and somebody don't, you know, if your record ain't over there, who are you? You know, you're just another cat. So we offer both entities with our band, the Final Mix.
How do you develop that following? Because there are a lot of bands in Des Moines, and you two mentioned you're in other bands as well. So how do you develop that following to keep you going, or help you make the money you want to make?
Hire a hot chick.
So your sin is hot?
Hire a hot chick and don't suck.
Yeah, hire a hot chick and don't suck.
And don't neglect the little things like speaking with people, interacting with people, being humble and nice to your fans, and
the clubs and the
marketing still. Like, you still got to market. You can't just post a Facebook post. But I think too that, you know, cover music, if you do it well, kind of does sell itself more, unfortunately, because people know the songs, so they can already sing along with them. With original music, you have to grind extra hard, because you have to sell people on your product that they've never heard before, and then get them to know your songs, and then build a following. That's exhausting. So,
and it's just grinding. You know, when we first started, you know, we weren't making as much money as we are now, and I was, you know, knocking on every bar in town and trying to get. Now I don't. And after 10 years of doing this, you know, I get the calls now. I don't even have to go looking for the gig. So, you know all about that.
Well, you both mentioned you're in other bands. Is that typical nowadays of people being in 2, 3, maybe 4 different bands?
Yeah.
for sure. Well, yeah, because there's a new, and I'm not going to name drop any corporations here, but there is like a new corporate style of. They have kind of like a menu of musicians that you pick from, and you just hire a band, cherry picking different members, and these people are all kind of part of a union, and they know the material, so they get together with a group of strangers that are also musicians, and they just play these songs. So that's a new thing popping up too.
Yeah. So, musicians are hungry and they want to get paid, and I know another saxophone player in town that probably plays with 16 different bands. He plays in a band with me as well.
The only thing I found about that is that they're not tight. When you put cats together, if you do a good album, go book a gig and then find guys to go play it. And I came for days where you need a full package. They want a look, they want a concept, they want you to be on time, they want you to play stuff that people like, and you want to pull them in, not just stand there and play. So we interact with the crowd, we make them get up, shake the booties.
Right, you gotta have chemistry to do that.
Yeah, you gotta add that for that. Just stand there, spot up songs, you know, like a DJ. We try to entertain. So for me to be successful, that's what we found that you have to have. When you come in looking like a band, oh man, that's the band right there. I like you to say that when we play. So when we walk in the club, we don't come in our set-up clothes. We don't come just like we're cutting grass. Some do, and some can get over in that type vein. You know, there are grunge bands that could just, and I'm like, man, you know how many fines you get with James Brown if you came on looking like that?
So your marketing starts the minute you get in the club. Or
Before.
It starts before the club, but for your performance, it starts the minute you get in the club, so people can say, hey, that's the band.
Yeah. So when you walk in, they know, oh, that's the band right there. You just step on what they do. So we try not to dress. I said, if you can wear it through the street in the daytime, you're not wearing show stuff. So we try to get stuff that's got a little more flair to it, a little more bling to it. It's different than like you just went to Jason Penney's or Old Navy and bought something, you know.
I've always had a theory that you should wear on stage what you get looked at really awkwardly in Walmart. If you're not getting looked at in public,
Walmart's not a good one.
Different offer looks in Walmart.
If you walk down the street in your stage outfit, you should be getting double takes. But on stage, it's perfect.
Right.
Now, John, we talked about marketing, and I'm sure your marketing is not the same as a band, but you have to get your name out there, get your business out there, get your work out there. How do you do it?
Well, I wear bowling shirts. So I wear something like this every day and in front of my customers. Sometimes it starts the conversation. But yeah, you always want to separate yourself, as you guys do. And marketing for me has always been word of mouth. I do a little bit of Facebook stuff, but mostly word of mouth. And I've got a lot of friends that also help me. And my son's a senior right now, so that graduation thing I was telling you about is times 500. So, but yeah, you take care of the small orders like that. They all work somewhere, and they all have a need for signage. So my business is small enough I can take care of the small customer just fine, and it's big enough I can take care of the big customers.
Can I ask him a question?
You sure can. Feel free.
Are you in a bowling league or is it sponsored bowling league? You just like the style of bowling shirts? That's sweet.
Where can people get those shirts if they want one of yours?
Come to my shop. I'll make sure they get one.
I'm bringing bowling shirts back. You know.
Now, Dave, Spencer, and Dale, John mentioned word of mouth. How important is word of mouth to get your names out there and to get people coming to see your show?
Oh, huge. Yeah, huge. If somebody says, "Oh, that band sucked," I saw last night. I mean, nobody's gonna want to come see you anymore.
Yeah, for sure. It's
Yeah,
like a kind of restaurant that way. Like you have one hair in your food, you'll never go there again. So you got to be on at all times. Because if someone walks in and it's first time catching, like, oh, that band's terrible. That's forever their image of you. So
So you're saying we can't put any hair in our music?
we're not hairball.
You can also do video live on here. See, so usually try to help us because they usually do it. They want to show their friends, yeah, this is what's going on right here. So, so that helps us. If you suck, well, now you see the place start to get out real quick. And then they put that on, man, don't come out here. Right. You know, so one thing with the high-tech stuff, we can do selfies with the dance crowd. Everybody put your hands up. Ready? Holler. Boom. And then people see that, you know, because they're like, everywhere you go, that's what they're doing. So if you're at a place that they're not that comfortable with, and they see, oh, the mixers out there, look at them jamming, let's go shake our butts. And that's where they go.
The Final Mix is not only popular here, but you mentioned you play around the country and around the world. How did you get to that?
Well, I have an agent that helps get us in the door, and then if you do well, you'll be back. If you don't do well, you won't be back. So we have to build a route. You know, so like with the Mississippi play that we play a spot down there, we go to South Park Island probably about 2 or 4 times a year. We'll go to Pittsburgh, we'll go to Minneapolis, things like that. And then it's important to do well at each one because if you want to get hired back, competition is tough on the road now. Because when we go on the road, we're not competing against Des Moines bands. We're competing against bands from Chicago, New York, LA, Vegas. So you have to be on a certain level to get in these particular roads if you want to make enough money to survive on the road. Going out and eating bologna sandwiches ain't my way of being on the road nowadays. You know, them days are gone. One guy gets the hotel room, 10 guys go in there. You know, so we don't do that, so we have to have the rooms taken care of. So you have to make a certain amount of money for a certain type of venue, and they expect a certain level of professionalism for you to be there to make those kind of gigs. And if you don't do well, matter of fact, you could get fired that night. I've seen some bands that where the club owners has called us, hey man, we had a band we had to get rid of. You guys open, you know, that kind of thing. What? They only played one night? Yeah. So they let them go right then and there, saying, when you're on the road, that's not good.
Hook me up with your contact with that agent.
Does Pie in the Sky have an agent?
We've traveled as
You have
far.
an agent, though?
Oh
No.
no, we don't.
Okay,
no,
you do
I do
all
all the booking
Okay.
and all that. So we've gone as far west as Kearney, Nebraska, as far east as Chicago, Minneapolis,
gone
Kansas
as far
City.
south as the Shoe Carnival at Southridge Mall.
I think that was a going out of business sale, wasn't it?
Yeah,
yeah. We played the
going out of business sale.
we played the work boot aisle.
Would you like an agent? Would you like to get to that level where you're traveling around the country?
Yeah, if I didn't have to book anymore and somebody else wanted to do it,
Man.
oh,
I always
yes.
wanted. I always told him, I was like, dude, get us like let's just do 1 month on a cruise ship. Let's just see what it's like.
If you wrong on that, you don't do shit. Yeah. The minimum you can go is
You ever got sick doing it?
6 weeks.
No, we love that.
Really? I can't move in the boat.
Yeah, we play on every island in the Caribbean, from Bermuda, Puerto Rico to St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. So we were gone for like 6 months.
But it had to be more than an agent that got Final Mix so popular. What is it?
Well, my background got us makes agents look at you. You know, when you got a guy I'm in the Blues Hall of Fame, Rock Hall of Fame, Design Hall of Fame. So that helps on your resume when they see that versus somebody say, well, we played the Greenwood, or we played the, I shouldn't say the club name, but when you got that resume, it kind of puts you kind of back in this area. But if you want to catch the eyeballs, of course, strong videos will really sell it. Strong videos, what you do, and then the agent decide if they got a move that will fit you. So it's important to make sure that you design a band that's popular, not obscure. There's some that are, I call them novelty acts, and you only see them because they're novelty. They only do that one thing. So that's good. But for the state book touring, like we did 271 nighters last year. So to do that, we found we had to have a variety of songs, so one night we could play an older generation that go back to the Motown days, to the 70s, 60s, 80s. And next night we may play Spring Break, where everybody wants to hear Bruno Mars, they want to hear Alicia Keys, they want to hear Maroon 5, they want to hear that kind of stuff. So we have to have enough diversity of repertoire to be able to do that. So we mix. We use our crowd as mix. We'll have the older ones early, and then as they fade out, the younger ones, the shot drinkers drinking fireballs and the lemon drops or whatever else they're drinking.
You probably have the same thing at weddings. They were like, wait till Grandma and Grandpa leave before you
don't wait.
Yeah.
Don't stay, shake your ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wait till Grandma leaves.
Wait till Grandma leaves, you can cut loose.
But the best are when they're like, Grandma's good to go. Just put
Yeah.
it all out there right
Grandma
away. Grandma will be
party's
out there.
First one on the dance floor, last
We had
one.
one that had she was in a wheelchair, and they put her in front of the speaker. I'm like, oh, poor girl. Why they put her in lever? They put her there in front of there. She's sitting right here by the PA. You see the bass players, I guess they figured, well, doesn't do too bad. Shooting that band fired up. I watched her and there she was sentencing, and I'm thinking, well, sorry about that, Grandma. This is the best we can do.
We're going to take a short break on the Marcus McIntosh YouTube show. We'll be back with these gentlemen. We have Pie in the Sky, John Dickerson, and we have Dale the Saxman Jones. We're back with more in just a minute. Welcome back. It's the Marcus McIntosh YouTube show being filmed right here at Smash Park in West Des Moines. I want to thank my guests. We have Pie in the Sky, Gabe Montgomery, and Spencer Fenimore. We have Dale the Saxman Jones, and with Dogfish Graphics, John Dickerson. I guess my first question is going to go to Pie in the Sky. You have your original lead singer returning for the gig being played right here at Smash Park on Friday the 26th. How exciting, or how excited are you guys to have her back?
It's huge, yeah.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, he sings as well, and so Dallas and him were both the front people. And she moved to Denver, and now she's in Dallas, and so she'll be coming back next Friday, and we're really excited because we were together for so long and built like this chemistry. You know, she's our sister, and just we missed seeing her too. It's like. So being able to perform with her and being able to see her and hang out for a day, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it's like your friend's coming back, and you get to work with your friend.
Disappointment or hurt feelings when she left?
No.
You're ruining the band. You're going solo.
No. She was going on to do live her life and do her things, and we miss her, sure, but no, we don't. No hurt feelings at all.
She still comes back quite a bit, and we go to music festivals with her still, hang out with her as much as possible.
And when we get hired for weddings and stuff like that, it's a bigger budget, so then we can afford to fly her back in when she's specifically requested, because they've seen us with her and they say, oh well, we really want Dallas, and
she goes on autopilot. She's got a master's degree in opera, and she's
she
went to the University of Tennessee. Yeah,
Sounds incredible.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And she's back here Friday the 26th. What can people expect when they come check you guys out, Pie in the Sky?
Well, it's going to be specifically amazing for me because I happen to actually love pickleball. I'm kind of addicted and obsessed
So in between sets, you're going to be playing pickleball?
I hope so. I don't know how it's going to roll, but I hope that I can play pickleball. But I love this place. Like, I just genuinely love this venue. I'm happy this is in Des Moines, so I'm excited so I'm going to throw down extra hard here.
We're a high energy band. We don't. Some bands love it when they can captivate a crowd and get them to, be quiet and listen to what they're doing. That drives me crazy. I want the place dancing. I want to be able to feel the electricity, because you got 200 people or more in here, hopefully more, and of different political views, different sexual orientations, different opinions, but everybody's in the same building, vibing together, and it's just one big party. Nobody cares about any of that other stuff. That's why I love doing this.
Yeah,
it brings people together, just keeps that electricity hot.
All right, this guy will be here at Smash Rock on Friday the 26th. Del the Sax Man Jones, where's Final Mix going to be?
Well, we're going to be at Grand Falls Casino up there in Sioux City.
Okay.
Be there for the weekend. Then we'll be in, let's see, I'm trying to think after that. Oh, we're also doing a big function at the Garden Club this year. It's outside function and fundraiser. It's going to be May 12th. And it's going to be guys that dress like women. We're going to make, these are straight guys. We got some cops, we got some football guys. And then they're going to dress like women that raise money for leukemia. Stuff like that. So we're going to, there's going to be 2 bands. We're going to play, it's going to be outside May 12th. Also go to Facebook and our website and find out where we are. We'll move around a lot.
People expect a certain level from the Final Mix. How do you keep it consistent? How do you keep, the energy up, the excitement?
Well, one thing, you have to keep it interesting so we don't get bored as well. That's one reason we travel. Like we'll go to our little vacation and play. We'll be going to South Colorado. We'll be on the beach for 2 weeks. Wearing shorts and flip-flops, playing in the
Must
sand.
be rough.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's rough. Swimming with the dolphins and stuff, jet skiing. So those breaks like that help take a little of the stress off when you come back. It's always good to come back home, but then it's always good to kind of get away and get a little new perspective. Sometimes we learn new things out there on the road, see other bands and get some inspiration, what they're doing and different techniques. Like now when we go to Switzerland, a lot of the bands in Europe now are going to tracks, and then they're varying, like they may have a DJ, a guitar, and a sax, and maybe a singer. And you think, well, where's the name? Well, I found every band that came up did the same kind of thing, but they had different combinations. They would put a violin, tracks, and a drummer. I'm thinking, what is it? But then they sounded good because what they were doing, they managed to make it fit. So that's the way the Europe's kind of goes. I know that's spreading in the States because when we go on the road, every band has 3 tracks now. Some do it even in trios because they want to have that full sound. But then there's a money issue. So if you can get that full sound and still make the good money, then it makes less people that can buy it with. So we went from 8 to 6 on stage. And once the keyboard player left, we said, well, shoot, we can. So we had a hard time finding a keyboard player that could play like the little parts that you hear on records and stuff. They want to play piano or organ. But a lot of the new songs don't have piano or organ. They have synthesizer. So we decided, well, let's do them, put them on tracks, and then we play on top of that, and I take care of the keyboard part. So that's what we did.
See, Marcus, technology's taking our job.
Yeah.
So there goes my music career.
Everybody's pay goes up a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, keyboard dude, you gotta go. The robot's doing you now.
Dill, Spencer, Dave, I want you guys to think about this. I'm going to ask you guys a story you can tell from the road. Anything, it doesn't have to be too crazy, but just a wild story you can think of while John asks the question, his niche for Dogfish graphics. Are you known for something specific, or do you just do it all?
Well, I print anything from a business card to a billboard, but my niche is kind of in the middle from, posters, banners, any large graphics, wall wraps, window wraps, floor wraps, vehicle wraps. I've got a very large printer that allows me to do that. But a fair amount of business cards because I take care of those business card customers because they'll need a flyer, they'll need a poster, they'll need a banner. So I do my fair amount of business cards. The other part of what makes me successful is that a lot of times customers have an idea of what they want to do. Even startup companies, they kind of have an idea what they want their logo to look like. Well, on the graphic side, I can help them put together a marketing campaign without the expense of, a marketing agency. So I help people collect their thoughts and put it in print form.
And you mentioned earlier how important word of mouth is for your business. So how does it make you feel when somebody comes in and says, well, I saw your wrap at this location, or a friend of mine has your, poster or big cutout of their kid? How does that make you feel? Does that validate what you're doing and let you think that there's work out there?
Yeah, it all the hard work that you put into it, it's all of a sudden paid for, right then and there. To have something out there, because everything I do is very visual to the public, and for somebody to recognize it, that means a lot. And a lot of times, you know, somebody will make a comment about something not even knowing that I did it. And so it's an amazing feeling to know that you're appreciated.
All right, John, you can think about your wildest stories. Well, I got to hear from the band guys. What their wildest stories?
Yeah, this one time when I was on tour with James Brown,
You were on tour with James. That's gonna be my story.
he pulled a gun on the bus driver. He thought he was trying to steal his shoes.
Mine was gonna be a Rick James story, but I'll let you know.
Man, I can't tell any stories.
I've got one. This isn't from Pie in the Sky, but my original band, it was called Mind Right. We did a contest where we won a starting or opening slot at Laserfest, and it was at the Indianola Balloon Field, which is where I'm from, so I was super excited. But I was saying, okay, we're playing Laserfest, we're opening up for all these great acts, and I want to make sure we maximize the attention that's put on us. So I said, you know, because opening acts, you got to win people over. Nobody knows your stuff. So I went out on stage in tidy whities and in a cowboy hat. Sure enough, I did the whole show like that. Sure enough, like people were coming from the back, like, "Is that dude in tidy whities and cowboy hat?" So I did watch people come up. It was a cold morning, so it was nothing impressive. But I think that's probably one of the craziest moments in my music career.
So my next question has to be: are there pictures, and where can I find them?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's YouTube videos of it, like Mind Right Laserfest. It's probably on there. Yeah.
I will have to check that out.
Also, pieindthesky.co is our website. If anybody
Okay.
wants to check that out,
Pieindthesky.co.
that's got kind of all of our shows on there. You can find us on Facebook too. We're the only Pie in the Sky that's not a pizza shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dale worked with James Brown, worked all over the world. You have to have some stories to tell. They could be tame stories.
I was trying to figure out you tame, like from riding elephants to having monkey brains to what? Well, I'll tell you that one. In Japan, the Asians got a lot of different things that we don't know about. And one of the things in Japan was this businessman just loved Final Mix, just loved the band, right? So he wanted to buy us out for dinner. We didn't know what kind of dinner it was going to be. And so we go in the shop and sit down on pillows and we got a table like this around holding it. Well, they bring out these monkeys and put them in there, see? Put them in there. So here's the monkey hanging down, here's the head that falls over. And they're drinking sake, see? They're drinking sake the whole time. You know, this stuff. Ching, and they poop. And they drink it straight. So for a person, the mood gets kind of nice. And we got somebody over here doing the dancing. So anyway, now it's time for the dinner time. So they take thing up. Here's this monkey sitting there.
He's live?
Oh yeah.
I think I know what's coming. I think I've seen
the chef comes out with this little full match and does a quick. He knows how to do it, so they don't come running and all that kind of stuff. And they just lift the stove up and eat the bread. And I'm going to watch this go on. And they're going for it, like, you know, dip in. You know what I'm saying? Well, I think I eat the sideline stuff. You know, the vegetables and stuff. I kind of left that. And so meanwhile, while they're picking out, I asked him, I said, does the monkey feel that? He said, well, you don't feel it. And he said, they're doing like this. You're making faces. And we're trying not to be, I mean, for us, being Americans saying that, it was another, but for them it was no big deal. You know, chopstick going, you know, they're talking away, drinking sake. So I left that place hungry.
I hope nobody's eating right now. Wow. John, I'm sure your story cannot match up to this, but are there any crazy stories? Are there any stories from the graphics game you want to share?
You know, as a printer, we're exposed to some pretty graphic things. We do a lot of trial boards. And so, you know, when it's in front of the jury and you want to showcase an accident with dismembered bodies, and so, I mean, I've seen some stuff. Or if you've got the infidelity and the proof is in the photo, you want to blow that up as big as possible. So I have some graphic stuff.
Is the pun intended there with the graphic?
But no, I can't say that I've had any monkey brains or the desire to.
Right, elephants.
I don't have wild stories like you guys have. I'm just a born dad of 4, wife, dog, house.
No,
trying to make ends
you've
meet.
got something at KCCI. What's
Yeah,
the most
yeah,
pressure
come on.
you've ever felt on live television?
Well, for me personally, the most pressure I feel is when we're doing stories that I don't like, or I'm doing a story that I don't like. And by that I mean stories about bad things that happen to young people.
Yeah.
Because my big thing there is I have a program called Read With Me, where once a month we'll go to a school. EMC insurance companies give that school $1,000 for the library, and I read to the kids and interact with them and just kind of push and express to them how important I feel reading is. We go to like different things over the summer, but that's kind of my thing. And I love kids, and so when we hear about kids dying, we've heard some bad things that happen to kids. We've heard about the kids, who were adopted being starved by their adopted parents and wasting away to nothing. So those are the kind of stories that I mean, there are stories we have to tell, but there are stories that I have the most problem with because it's just hard for me with kids. And I think even if I didn't have kids, it'd be hard for me to it hurts.
Have you ever lost it having to record this?
I've never lost it having to record. I don't even think I've come close because you try to separate yourself from the story. You're telling the story and trying to tell it in a fair and balanced way, getting both sides of the story, but I try not to insert myself in the story. That way I don't get too invested and get too emotional about the story. But when I go home and talk to my wife about it, it's like, oh, I can't believe the story we had to do today, or the story I did today about what happened to these kids.
Yeah.
And that's what's sad.
Have you or any of your colleagues ever had a viral moment on like John Oliver, or Stephen Colbert will show a local news station having a flood?
I don't know if it was something, I think somebody, maybe Jimmy Fallon or somebody tweeted something about Todd Magel, what he did. And I think Todd and Laura anchoring one night, they couldn't get through the story without laughing. I think that made some tweets. And I can't remember exactly what they were laughing about, but the two of them could not stop laughing. And it was on, I don't know if it was on Jimmy Fallon or somebody tweeted it or YouTubed it, but that went viral. That went all over.
Do they get talking to after a moment like that? Does someone say, hey, you got to keep it together? Or is it just lighthearted?
If it happens a lot, I think they would. It's natural. I mean, something happens where you laugh and it's hard to stop. I mean, that happened to Sheila Berman and I once when we were anchoring. I don't want to go into specifics, but it was someone's name, and she didn't want to say the name. We were doing birthdays. She didn't want to say the name, so I said the name, and I'm trying not to laugh. So my thing is, I do little coughs to keep them laughing, because I was going to laugh while she was saying the name, but she just shook her head like this and pointed to me, and so I have to say the name, and I just do little coughs like, I'm trying to keep them laughing. Yeah. You can kind of tell something was wrong, and the person wasn't happy about their name, and we can talk about that. I'll tell you the name later, not on this, because I don't want to come back to me. But yeah, we have fun. It's a fun place to work. We have a lot of fun. We interact well, but there are just some stories like something bad that happens to kids.
Yeah.
I just have the hardest time.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you guys then. You put me on the spot. What's the worst part about your jobs? About music? About
Loading in and loading out.
That's the part everybody hates. Yeah.
Aside from that, I would say people yelling Freebird. It's just come on. Can you have something more creative at this point?
At this point, somebody yells Freebird. We're gonna give it to them for 2 hours. We're gonna just play an extended version. So don't do it. Don't request Freebird. It's not funny. It's just
Or play Lou Bega the rest of the night.
yeah.
You're gonna get it now.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna get it now.
the worst part about the road or the music scene?
The worst part on the road is you have a breakdown. That's the best.
Is that typical more when you're starting in a business? Or
No, it can happen in a new vehicle, old vehicle. I've had it in buses. I mean, when we I tell you the story. We played in Vegas for James Brown, and we had 3 buses. And one of the bus I was on broke down.
But that wasn't James
buses.
Brown's bus, I'm assuming.
Not that he doesn't, right.
Oh, okay.
Break down. He flies in his private.
Okay.
So anyway, while we broke down, we have to wait for the tow trucks and stuff to get there. So we're 2 hours outside of Vegas, so it'll take 2 hours for the truck to get there. So after a while, when the bus is sitting out there in the heat, it gets a little warm. So what we did was everybody got out of the bus and sit on the side where the shade was. So we sat there and see, so everybody's sipping a little bit, passing the time. So make a long story short, when the truck came and then we ended up going to LA where everybody was just a little tipsy. Well, see, there's a little fine involved if if he smells alcohol and then for us, Mr. Brown's here, Mr. Brown's here. We never called him James, that was Mr. Brown, right? So the trumpet player kind of went above everybody else a little bit. So when he was playing, he would hit the high note. He fell off the riser, right? We're doing steps. And all of a sudden, the trumpet disappeared. So we see it, so I'm trying not to laugh, see, because it looks funny in front of y'all. He falls off the riser, hits the stage, rolls down onto the floor. Well, the roadies come and grab him and pull him on off. See? His trumpet's still on the stage going like this. And we're supposed to keep a straight face and play, knowing he just got find the hell.
He ain't making no money that
Yeah, he's not old James.
He's gonna have to write a check himself.
Yeah.
So, or get fired, see? So when the pay time came, everybody wanted, how much he get you, man? Oh, man. So then he gave us he wouldn't tell us exactly. He had another name, so what they called us when we asked him. Okay. So I can't say that. But then to this day, we never found out how much he got fined for that. But that was one of the stories. We had 2 drum players, and he did all the top notes. We just called him Skin Daddy because he had a spot in from blowing trumpet. So we called him Skin Daddy, see? And when he hit that top note, over he went, and we're still trying to step, and one guy falls, man. I mean, you trying to keep a straight face. Ooh, did you see that? Yeah. He's fine. And the old TV is smiling, and there he is being taught, all the way.
John, any stories from you? The worst stories?
Well, the worst stories for me is that people don't appreciate how long it takes to produce something. So if they need something tomorrow, I'm there all night and maybe all morning to get it done. So yeah, that's the worst it gets for me. Is just long hours.
Yeah. We wrecked a trailer on the way back from a wedding last year, maybe the year before that. We were coming back from northeast Iowa, and it was about 3-4 o'clock in the morning by the time we made it just south of Ames. And I felt the trailer just kind of, and I saw sparks flying off the back of it. So I slowed down, and the wheel from the trailer goes flying by the driver's side of the car, and I was like, I think that just came off of us. So we pulled over, and it was so early in the morning, I didn't even want to deal with it.
It was like 3 degrees. Dude.
Yeah, it was 3. It was so cold out. I unhooked the trailer with all of our gear in it and just left it and drove home. Called the tow truck, said, man, I don't know if you guys can go get it, but they pulled it up on the back of their flatbed, and I went and picked it up the next day.
They called me. I was in the truck ahead with Dallas. They're like, hey, where are you? We're broke down. I'm like, oh, shit, we're already in Des Moines. We're just like 2 miles ahead.
Pie in the Sky, give us your website again.
Pieinthesky.co, or you can look us up on Facebook. Pie in the Sky on Facebook. Like I said, the only one that's not a pizza shop.
John, your contact information for people who want graphic work.
Dogfishgraphics.com.
Joe?
Gotta make sure, man. Just Google it. All the websites pop up. We got about 8 of them.
We're taking one more break, then Pie in the Sky is going to play for us. We're back with much more on the Marcus Mcintosh YouTube show. Stick around.
For Pie in the Sky, we're going to play Jason Isbell and the 400 Units, If We're Vampires. Not exactly the party song that we normally play, but this one's for the ladies.
This one's got all the feels.
Not the long flowing dress that you're in, or the light coming off of your skin. Fragile heart you protected for so long, or the mercy and the sense of right and wrong. It's not your hand searching slow in the dark, or your nails leaving love's watermark. It's not the way you taught me on the route. Your questions lack directions to the truth. It's knowing that this can't go on forever. Likely one of us will have to spend some days alone. Maybe we'll get 40 years together. One day I'll be gone. One day you'll be gone. We were vampires and death was a joke. We'd go out on the sidewalk in smoke, laugh at all the lovers in their plan. I wouldn't feel the need to hold your hand. Maybe time running out is a gift. Work hard till the end of my shift. Give you every second I can find. Hope it isn't me who's left behind. It's knowing that this can't go on forever. Likely one of us will have to spend some days alone. Maybe we'll give 40 years together. One day I'll be gone. One day you'll be gone. Knowing that this can't go on forever. Likely one of us will have to spend some days alone. Maybe we'll get 40 years together. One day I'll be gone. One day you'll be gone. Let's play some pickleball.